Well, another big development in the FBI's crusade to target and harass all of Donald Trump's greatest allies, including MyPillow Mike Lindell, who was, I guess, ambushed at a fast food restaurant in Mankato, Minnesota. So let's check this one out. MyPillow Mike's Lindell speaks out after FBI seizes his phone. So he was picking up food at a fast food chain drive-thru when 3 cars driven by federal agents just boxed him in. September 13th afternoon in Mankato, Lindell and a friend were halfway back from a duck hunting trip in Iowa. And as one car pulled up perpendicularly in front of his car, a second pulled up alongside, third came in behind. Like, what the hell is going on? This is a terrorist attack? Well, kind of. It's the modern-day Gestapo, the politicized FBI targeting political enemies. So Lindell stuck his head out the car window. Hey, who are you guys? So the agents identified themselves as the FBI. They want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. This is an article out of the Epic Times, an exclusive. The FBI said targeted him over the voter fraud allegations he has voiced and later just seized his cell phone despite his vocal protests. So Lindell's food ran cold and his ice cream melted. I wonder if they got him some new stuff after that. Do you think it's the least they could do is hey, we got your phone, least we can do is get you another meal? Probably not. Or maybe they all had a big lunch together. That would have been hilarious. I wish somebody would have got a photo of that, but alas. So among other lines of questioning were Lindell's ties to Colorado Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters, the local election overseer he met at a cyber symposium. Boy, they seem like they're really terrified of people really digging into this election. I mean, if there was nothing to hide, why would they care what he has? So, but they seem to be fascinated, like he's onto something. They seem worried. Not necessarily the specific FBI agents. There are a lot of them, they're probably just, following orders, but at the top, they don't want people knowing about that Dominion machinery and how they could perhaps have issues with the election, or they could be manipulated to one side or another. We've never really had a good chance to audit that, but they have failed many tests, and they could be used to swing an election. They're not foolproof. Because a lot of people have a hard time believing that there were 81 million legitimate votes. Well, the agent said, hey, Mike, we got bad news for you. We're going to take your cell phone. Since he doesn't have a computer, he said his phone is an essential device that he leans on to run 5 businesses. They want people to be scared of Mike Lindell. It's just, intimidation tactics. They go after these people, and everybody else is going to, back away, get scared, and it's awful. This should not be happening in America at all. So you might get your phone taken at a drive-thru restaurant. You might get your door bashed in by the FBI, noting the string of FBI subpoenas for allies of former President Trump reported in recent weeks as they are conducting raids all over the place. So the FBI turned down Lindell's request to back up his phone. Well, why would they care? And that was something that really upset me, he said, adding that the last phone backup was from a couple of weeks ago. And, this is a businessman who needs his phone, but he did comply and give it up, but he should have been allowed to back it up. What's the big hurry? They're out just hanging out in Mankato over lunch. Let the man have his burger and his milkshake or whatever he was having, and back up the phone. You can all be civil adults, and then you can take his phone at the end. How about that? Let's act like human American adults here. But either way, the recent FBI actions, he said, won't dissuade him from his advocacy efforts. Says the government weaponized the FBI. They're trying to scare me, trying to scare other people, but it didn't change a thing. So this is the Gestapo in Nazi Germany. This is what we're up against. Yeah, this is something that America has never stood for. We have the Fourth Amendment, and this is why the forefathers put that in place, so the government couldn't get out of control and do these sorts of tactics. So here's another piece of an article from the Gateway Pundit saying this investigation is centered around Colorado and Tina Peters' criminal case. So no one's really sure why these Dominion machinery, this private company, can seem to get away with so much, and people aren't allowed allowed to look at it. It almost seems, going into the conspiracy theory, that the people in charge they want to use these to their own advantage. And once they're cracked open and people know that they're fraudulent, they won't want to use them anymore, and we'll have to actually go back to voting integrity, counting by hand, same-day voting, signature matching, voter ID, cleaning up the voter rolls. A lot of things that they don't want to happen, because it gives them a lot of leeway to swing an election if they so choose. Then they can prevent any anti-establishment type of candidates from winning a fair election. So in the meantime, the rogue FBI continues to harass private citizens who speak out against the regime. If you dare challenge the 2020 elections, or in this case 2022, rather than prove its legitimacy with transparency, they throw you in the trenches with lawfare. Really, that's the key to do this, is to have it all transparent. That way nobody can complain about the results, because you have trusted sources. They do the recount, they can double count, triple count, and they come to the same conclusion. They say, well, it's all open and transparent, it's integrity, and what do we say? We lost, guys, so we're just going to have to get out the vote better next time. We're going to have to sell our messages better to the people, and they'll vote for us next time. But that's not what it is. It's just like, oh, okay, we'll just stop counting in the middle of the night, find a bunch of ballots, dumped into the mailboxes, don't check signatures, and then we have this Dominion machinery that you're not allowed to audit or even talk about. Here's some fun little tweets here from Tim Young. The FBI prioritized getting the MyPillow guy's cell phone over arresting any of the pedophiles on Jeffrey Epstein's list. Yeah, imagine if the FBI were actually the good guys, like we all kind of grew up thinking that they were, going after all the crooks and criminals. And Slangman said the same FBI who raided the MyPillow guy covered up child porn on Hunter Biden's laptop. Yeah, they held on to that thing for at least a couple of years. They don't want to talk about that. That could be devastating for their candidate, so they'll cover that up and target the political enemies instead. Biden's from Righteous Crusader, Biden's FBI raided Trump's residence, his lawyers' homes, his associates' property, and even raided the pillow guy, Mike Lindell. But what would it take for the mainstream media to question if Biden's Justice Department has been politicized? Well, that's a great question. Unfortunately, it's not the independent media that holds powerful people accountable anymore. Now it's the powerful people who just bought up all the media. So you're not allowed to question it. And if you do question it, you're going to find another job. You're going to learn to code. Well, there you have it. The FBI is continuing its crusade, as I said. This time it's Mike Lindell. Who knows who's next? Are they going to continue to ramp up this investigation? It's a fishing expedition until they find something where they can use that politically. I don't know if it's ahead of the election. They're desperate for something because the Mar-a-Lago raid was a horrible PR disaster. It backfired. But that's all I've got on this one. So thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.